Let me have a copy of this method, static rotor resistance control. Okay, so this also can be called control of rotor resistance by means of chopper. We can also call this method as control of rotor resistance. That's R2. I'm not writing everything. Control of R2 means rotor resistance by using chopper. So in the examination, if you're asked to if the examiner asks any question, either static rotor resistance control or control of rotor resistance by chopper, then you can answer this lecture. So let us make it that. Usually we're having our slip ring induction motor, stator and rotors. So this is the rotor part. Let me take this is the rotor part and this is the stator part. And starter is being excited by means of the three-phase AC supply. Three-phase AC supply. Okay, so this is the three-phase AC supply. This one is our induction motor, slip ring induction motor, or you can say wound rotor induction motor. And this outer circle is the stator part, or inner circle is the rotor part. And here we are going to use uncontrolled rectifier here in this method. So before inserting the rotor resistance, we'll use one uncontrolled rectifier. And we are going to use three-phase uncontrolled rectifier. As it is a three-phase induction motor, so it is going to have three phases. We are going to use the three-phase uncontrolled rectifier. It's uncontrolled, so we are going to use diodes, not thyristors. Okay, it's a three-phase uncontrolled rectifier. So we have 6 diodes. These are diodes, my dear students. Okay, so this is the uncontrolled rectifier. It is connected to the rotor side. This is the rotor three phases. These are the rotor three phases. And after that, we're going to use one inductor here. We'll use one inductor. Please observe the circuit diagram while I'm drawing. And after that, we'll insert the rotor resistance, external resistance here. So if you observed in the conventional method, there you have directly inserted the rotor resistance without any this arrangement, right? So this is the external resistance. Now we are going to use the chopper now. That is a power semiconductor switch. Now we are use a chopper or power semiconductor switch here. Okay. So this is a pot. This is an inductor, and this current. Let me take is the ID current. Current ID. So this is the external resistance to be added in the rotor circuit. In the rotor circuit. and this is the current rotor current IR, rotor current IR. Okay, so this is a rectifier. This one is the uncontrolled rectifier. Uncontrolled rectifier. And this is the inductor. So we're going to use inductor here to make the current ripple free. To make current ripple free, so we're going to use inductor. This part can be acts like a filter, and after that we insert this external resistance, and this is the chopper, or we can call it power semiconductor switch, or we can say it is a chopper circuit. Okay, and this is the external resistance to be added. The inductor is going to use the to make ID ripple free current. Okay, now what is going to be changed in the parameters? There's what is the value of external resistance to be added. So here you can observe this current, IR current. So as we already know, the current can follow this waveform. Let me draw the current waveform of the rotor current IR. So it is going to have the sawtooth waveform. So IR current. So I'm making instantaneous current. You already seen this one. So this is a DC line. So omega t time. And this is the conduction period is 120 degrees. 120 degrees. (120) is a pi and 2 pi, and this value is ID value, this current value. ID. Okay. So with this waveform, we can draw the RMS value of the rotor current. If we make IR is the RMS value of rotor current, then we can write down this, find out this RMS value from this waveform. So if you take the formula IR equals to RMS value equals to, so 1 over time period and a root of the function IR square, or IR of omega t whole square, into d omega t. We will take under root here. Okay, this is the RMS formula, and you can get the RMS value of this rotor current is going to be under root of 2 by 3, under root of 2 by 3 times of ID current. Okay, so if you are having doubts, you can do that. You can take time period is equals 2 pi, and IR value is ID, and limits you can take these limits. So you are going to get this IR value as root 2 by 3. This is the RMS value of rotor current. RMS value of rotor current. Now the thing is, we need to find out the rotor resistance value. So now you can observe here in this circuit diagram. For example, if I take this is the XY point, these 2 points are XY points. Now we are adding this resistance in between these XY nodes. Okay. Now tell me, so if the chopper is on, when the power semiconductor switch is on, so what about the external resistance value? So whatever the current is there, ID current is there, the total current will be bypassed to the chopper. The bypass to this power semiconductor switch, right? That means there is no external resistance is added in that case. That is, whenever the chopper is on, so we can control the chopper by means of the duty cycle. There is a duty cycle, as we know, it is a T on by T. So in some textbooks, they will mention with alpha or delta, both are same. There is no doubt. So we are going to control the chopper by means of the duty cycle as controlling the on time period or off time period. So here, if the chopper is on, the total current will be bypassed to this power semiconductor switch, right? Whenever the chopper is off, then with the external resistance is to be added. That is by controlling the duty ratio of the duty cycle of the this chopper, we can control the this external resistance, right? So during the on period, we're going to have zero resistance value. During the off period, you're going to have what? Or external value, isn't it? So with this, we're going to find out the this value, the external resistance to be added value. So that is we can find out by taking the waveform here. That waveform can be let me draw this waveform for resistance only. I'm drawing this without drawing also we can find out the resistance value, but for better understanding I'm giving this waveform for resistance here. So there is no need of drawing this in your exam also, but so you can observe here. So I'm drawing for external resistance or make it R. So let me make this a T on period. T on. This is a T. Okay. So as we know, during T on period, what is the external resistance is to be added? What is the value? Anybody could you answer me? During T on period, what is the value of this resistance? Is it going to be zero or it is going to have any value, finite value? You can observe this circuit diagram. During on period of the chopper, what is the value is added to the rotor resistance side, rotor side? Post your answer in the chat box. Obviously, what? Obviously, it is going to be zero. That is why we can neglect this XY line as there is no current flow through the R external, so can be taken as neglected. So now the R external value is going to be what? Zero during T on period. Coming to T off period, this is switch is going to be open. So now tell me what is the value of the resistance is added in the rotor side during off period of the chopper. During off period of the, it's going to be what? R external, right? So well done. So by using this, I'm giving this waveform here now. Okay. And again, you can take it like, sorry, it is not negative. We're not having negative parts here. Resistance. Time period T. Time T. So from this, can we find out the value of R external here? So that's always we can take RMS value or equals to, this is the R external value, 1 over time period under root of 0 to T or dt or dt. So use this relation. During 0 to T on, the value is going to be 0, and during the T on to T, the value is going to be R external. Just substitute those values and we are going to get the value R is equals to, the value R will be equals to or it may make it is RAB RXY RXY. There is a resistance seen from these two terminals RXY RXY. RXY will be given by, so you substitute the value. There's a, you can divide this integral from 0 to T on and T on to T. 0 to T1 the value is going to be 0, and during T1 to T the value is going to be R external. So this is can be written as R Ex equals to xy equals to 1 minus delta times of R external value. 1 minus delta times of R external value. You will get this one. Okay. So from this equation we can say that by varying the this delta as a duty cycle, we can vary what? We can vary the resistance to be added in the circuit. We can vary the resistance to be added in the circuit. So what is the permissible value of this value? So before that, now what we are doing here, we are inserting a resistance in the rotor circuit. So always you keep in your mind that, so whenever there is a resistance, there will be a power loss, as it is going to be dissipate some power. So whenever you are inserting a resistance in any circuit, there will be a power loss, right? There is the power loss in the rotor side. There is a rotor power loss. So we can say, let me make it is a Pxy, the power loss Pxy. So the Pxy, the rotor power loss, can be write Pxy is equals to the, so what is the current? Current is I square D. Usually it is I square R formula. So current is, we are taking I square D. You can observe the current is what? ID current. We have taken the current is ID current. So it is I square D, and resistance is what? The resistance is RXY. RXY. Okay. So from this we can write down okay, a small announcement, my dear students. The meeting is going to end in couple of minutes. So after that, please rejoin everybody. Or external. So the rotor power loss, we can write Pxy is equals to, in terms of the rotor current. Let me write this in terms of the rotor current. So as we already know, so IR is equals to, the RMS value of rotor current is equals to under root of 2 by 3 ID. So from this we can write ID equals to what? We can write ID equals to root 3 by 2 times of IR. So I will substitute this ID here. Then you're going to get the value 3 by 2 I square R 1 minus delta times of R external. So we can also write down this equation, the power loss. Let me write, it is a power loss for 3 phases. So write it for per phase loss. Per phase rotor loss, we can take it like Pxy by 3. For 3 phases this value, and for 3 phases will divide with 3. That will be written as 1 by 2 times of I square R 1 minus delta times of x. That is the, you can write I square R into 0.5 times of 1 minus delta times of R external. Or external. Okay. So now from this we can write down the effective per phase resistance seen by the rotor. So this what is a rotor loss. The rotor loss, what we observed, I square R into this value. I square R into this value. So we can say this value is the effective resistance, as effective per phase resistance seen by the rotor. Let me write down this one, that one here. The effective per phase rotor resistance as effective resistance, per phase resistance seen by rotor, can be equals to this value, that is 0.5 times of 1 minus delta R external. Okay. So this is the value of resistance which is seen by the rotor, right? Now what is the total rotor resistance value? From this we can write down the total rotor resistance value. Therefore total resistance is the total effective rotor resistance value. Effective rotor resistance value. Let make it R effective or okay, R effective is equals to, so already the rotor is going to have some resistance that we call R2, or you can call it as RR, R2 RR. Along with that, we are having this effective per phase resistance seen by the rotor. There is a 0.5 times of 1 minus delta times of R external. So this is the effective resistance of the rotor circuit. Let me keep in a table. Now from this you can observe, so if you vary the duty cycle of the chopper, you are going to get the different values of the rotor resistance value, right? So isn't it? Now from this, let me write down the permissible value of this rotor resistance value. That is the minimum value of the rotor resistance and minimum value of maximum value of the rotor resistance. So let me make it here only. So as you know, delta is going to have 0 and 1. The range of the delta is going to be 0 to 1. So by varying this value, delta